Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic. The author of the Refer to the Quran, which helps every novice to understand the steps towards understanding the great Quran and the guidance of God in it.
Time to rise and meet the challenge. Baba Shuaib is calling you out. Meet Baba Shuaib, a correctional officer with a mission. Today he's throwing down the gauntlet to the mushriks, no more holding back. With his logo shirt and cap, Baba Shuaib sits tall and confident. He says, the time for action is now. It's time to rise, to push past limits, and to become the best versions of ourselves. Baba Shuaib believes in the power of determination and resilience. His challenge is simple. Stand up, face your fears, and conquer them. Every day is a new opportunity, he says. An opportunity to grow stronger, to be better, and to leave a mark on the world. So, are you ready to accept Baba Shuaib's challenge? Are you ready to rise above and beyond? Join Baba Shuaib and let's show the world what we're made of, because the only limit is the one you set for yourself.
But you're so smart that it literally triggers people. A 2021 study showed that exposure to superior intelligence activates our threat detection system in the brain. The amygdala lights up when we encounter someone visibly smarter than us, and it's the same response we have to physical threats. It upsets us. I ain't even done. But when I tell you this tweet alone made so much sense about my life. It's not just a figure of speech. When people say that intelligence hurts the ego, it literally triggers pain response, which makes us sensitive. If people feel less intelligent around you, they either avoid you unconsciously, cheapen you to feel better, or try to prove you wrong.
Are you a defensive listener? Like, are your ears tuned for offense? I've emphasized the importance of how the character of a messenger and their delivery can shape the outcome of a conversation. But fairness demands that we look at the other side too, and that's the role of the listener. That while many conversations falter due to careless communicators, misinterpretation can distort an intended meaning just as much as miscommunication does. Defensive listening occurs when someone perceives a comment as an attack even when no harm was delivered. In some cases, a speaker can communicate masterfully and without error, but the listener internalizes the message through a lens of offense for one reason or another. Now, research tells us that we listen at about 25% efficiency. And when you factor in unresolved personal conflict, or we project our own adverse life experiences onto a communicator, our ability to hear them diminishes exponentially. Not because the speaker failed, but because we as listeners can warp the message too. Now, it's far easier to blame someone else for mishandling their words than it is to acknowledge when we've mishandled their message. So hear me, listening isn't passive, it is an active responsibility. It requires us to confront our biases and examine our insecurities in order to approach conversations with an openness and a dose of humble vulnerability. So don't be so ready to criticize a messenger's ability to speak without addressing the listener's responsibility to listen.
I don't do anything that I cannot prove, but it seems that when people don't understand what I do or why I'm doing something, they are quick to judge. Quran chapter 18 verse 65. Remember, Moses was a prophet, right? But he went to another servant of God to seek knowledge. Sometimes the perspective you are looking at things, you might think you are right, till you go and meet another person. Maybe God has gifted him more than you. Then you get to realize, oh, you are actually falling behind. And that is why I open up for dialogue. I watch you just like you watch me. I master the art of double checking you more than you check me. So whatever you think you are coming with, I've already prepared the weapons on the side, because I know all of you are watching, especially the people who are coming for my neck. So I get prepared for all of your heebie-jeebies. This is how I'll be taking all of you one by one when you come at me. So go back and study. Just because you don't have understanding of something doesn't mean the other person is wrong. Just because it's beyond your imagination or understanding. Let's have a dialogue, one-on-one. Baba Shuaib will bring you, and let's face it out. If no one sees you as an enemy.
When a person doesn't like you, they team up with another person that doesn't like you. And before you know it, there's a whole slew of people that hate you. But here's the thing, those people, they don't even like each other. They're only gathered because of you. See how powerful you are? When a person doesn't like you, they team up with another person that doesn't like you. And before you know it, there's a whole slew of people that hate you. But here's the thing, those people, they don't even like each other. They're only gathered because of you. See how powerful you are?
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Peace be upon you all. Now let's move on to the main topic of today. Right, so you saw on the main thumbnail, I put Sneako and Assim Al-Hakeem. Then beneath, I put Ayoob Karim. The main focus today, this lecture today, will be on Ayoob Karim. But let's go on top. Let's talk about Sneako and Assim Al-Hakeem. So before we go to Sneako and Assim Al-Hakeem, let's take a snippet from this guy.
Most people say that Salah is prayer. I believe Salah is not prayer.
Okay.
Litany means prayer and or supplication. Yes, that is true.
Thank you. Thank you for admitting that is true. So that is Ayoob Karim telling you what litany actually means. And he says that is true. Then he took my words and misconstrued whatever I did out of foolishness instead of calling me, giving me a call, you know. And then let's have a discussion or let's have a dialogue and tell me, oh, Baba Shuaib, people are asking me litany, you translated litany. What was the reason or what was the context in which you use litany? So that I can break down to your shallow mind. You refuse to do that. So I call you a hypocrite because that is what a hypocrite will do. You understand? A hypocrite will profess a belief by his acting differently. This guy is in the same group as I am. He has my phone number. He could have just given me a call and say, Baba Shuaib, hey, people are calling me litany. What do you mean by litany when you put this? Then I can explain to your shallow brain. You didn't. So now I understand who you are. You are a hypocrite. That's the summary of it. That's what a hypocrite does. But anyways, let's go to Sneako too. Sneako's video was trending during the week. So I had people reach out to me and say, hey, Sneako is in danger because the mushriks are moving towards his direction. Because usually this is what the mushriks do, right? They try to do that with Grayson Brook, but we happen to be there first. So Grayson Brook's mind now is set on the Quran. Of course, he is free to listen to other things, but his mind is fixated on the Quran, right? They try to do it to Brother Dravon. Is it Dravon or Dravon? Recently, he just commented on my post. He actually appreciated the video I did. Oh, I saved a screenshot somewhere. Brother Dravon actually gave me a thumbs up. He appreciated my video I did on him when the mushriks were attacking him, right? So they try to do that to Brother Dravon. You see the Ali Dawas and so taking his video, trying to attack him, insult him, did it. So let's go to Sneako's video, right?
I've been struggling with this one ever since I read this hadith, which stuff a lot. I have to admit I didn't like when I read it.
Listen, no, Sheikh, tell me. First of all, we as Muslims have to have submission, certainty, no questions asked, no strings attached. This is Quran, I believe it. Do you fully embrace it? Yes. No questions asked. This is a hadith. Do you take it? Is it authentic? Is it?
That's what I read, yeah.
Then if it's authentic, it's from Allah. How could I be shaky? Because if you want to be shaky, this means that you don't have certainty. And when you don't have certainty, you're this close to flipping to the dark side.
But I mean, how are we able to judge how authentic hadith is, or?
You don't. How do you judge whether this neurosurgeon who's going to do a spine cord surgery on you is authentic or not?
Judged by opinions of other people.
Okay, so by whose people?
The professionals.
Professionals. So you go to the scholars.
That's why I'm asking you.
I'm coming to you. I'm not answering yet. I'm just setting the foundation for the belief. The biggest problem we have with the Westerners from America and from Canada and from Europe is that they don't have their Islam on cemented area. They're so easy to flip to the other side. And that's why you find many of them starting to be good and strong and mashallah, and all of a sudden, I have doubts. Why? The Prophet married Aisha when she was 9. Ooh, you're a kafir. If you doubt the Prophet ﷺ for a second, you're a full-fledged kafir. Get the heck out of my house. Don't even think about it. No second chances. Islam is crystal clear. The Prophet said, I've left you on Islam which is as clear as night and day. There's nothing ambiguous in it. So if someone has the hesitation and is not certain, you know how many counseling sessions I do over the year? Thousands. I counsel people for money. They come to me, they pay me $220 per hour. I'm cheap. So what's the problem? And they come to me and say, Sheikh, I'm not certain that Allah exists. And you're a kafir. End of call. Watch out. If you doubt something in Islam that is beyond doubt, the Prophet ﷺ, if you look down at him, if you think bad about him, if you think something wrong with the Quran, if you think Allah Azza wa Jal is unfair, you're a kafir. We don't have to beat around the bush. But if you have a doubt, why did this happen? I'll explain it to you. This is why I'm here. You say, I don't know why the Prophet married Aisha when she was 9 and he was 50 years of age. It doesn't sound good, but I accept it. Do you think bad of the Prophet Islam? Is he a pedophile? Astaghfirullah. I would be a kafir thinking this. But I just want justification. I explain it to you. And I'll remove all doubt in your head.
Asim the bozo. Asim the bozo. Asim the bozo. Now let's go one by one. If I have the glasses, you already know what is wrong when I have the glasses on, right? Let's go step by step to what he said, right?
I've been struggling with this one ever since I read this hadith, which stuff a lot. I have to admit I didn't like when I read it.
Now, if somebody reverts or converts to Islam, they come with a logical mind in the first place. But sometimes the presence of these so-called top scholars, it's actually confuses this person, so that the person becomes scared to profess what they see wrong. You see, Grisenbrook did the same. Draven is doing the same. Sneako is trying to do the same, but they will bombard him. After Asim Al-Hakeem met him, the other group, Ali Dawa, Sheikh Uthman, they all went to him straight, because the idea is to catapult you in one side so that you don't get to express the problems you have. Are you getting me? So if you watch the video carefully, Sneako is being careful as to the way he expressed his concern about the issue. And you could actually see that Asim Al-Hakeem is actually threatening him psychologically. I'm saying he's threatening him by using the word, you'll be a kafir. You don't need to do this. Hey, you don't need. Are you getting the point? So let's go into the video. You get to understand the game he was playing with him.
Listen. No, Sheikh, tell me. First of all, we as Muslims have to have submission.
First of all, we as Muslims have to have submission. The moment you use the word Muslim, that is a submitter, someone who submits his will to God. If you check Quran chapter 2, verse 131, when God told Ibrahim, Aslim, he said, Aslamtu لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. I submit to the Lord of the worlds, right? To submit and to surrender to the Lord of the worlds. So submission in its essence, you submit yourself, you understand, to God. So if you are a Muslim, you have submission to God, not to anybody else. Listen carefully. You have submission to God, not to anybody else, unless if God tells you submit to someone else's authority. Do you get how it means? Just like in a workplace, in a working space, you have a boss, and then the boss tells you to submit to the supervisor. It is based on the instruction of the boss that will make you submit to the supervisor. The supervisor cannot just come out of nowhere and then just come and say, you know what? I'm the supervisor. You'll be like, you'll be wondering, because nobody introduced him to you or something. You understand? You can't just submit to somebody you don't know, right? Okay, so the authority has to come from the boss. The boss has to tell you that this is your supervisor. You listen to him, or you are answerable to him. Okay, let's go.
Certainty.
He says certainty instead of certainty. Well, he's bringing the Arabism into the English language. So certainty, you have to have submission and certainty. Not everybody reaches certainty at a course of time. Sometimes it will take you 50 years to reach certainty in Islam. You can be a submitter to God, but you have not attained certainty yet. We have Muslims who have doubts. We even have believers who have doubts. So the process of having certainty is a gradual process where you become very certain of what you are doing. Are you getting the point? Okay.
No questions asked. No string.
No, that's a lie. Questions will be asked. There's nothing like no questions asked. If you check throughout the Quran, you see the messenger being asked questions. When they ask you about the hour, say. When they ask you about the orphans, say. When they ask you what they should spend, say. When they ask you about the spirit, say. When they ask you about anything, say. So questions are being asked. Don't say no question asked. If you are a submitter, you need to ask questions. Oh, this glass is not yet. The doubtful part is not up yet. When it comes, I'll put the glasses back on. So questions need to be asked. Don't say question, no questions asked. That is foolishness. What kind of religion is that? They tell you don't ask questions? No, you need to ask. I'm serious. No questions asked? Then let's go.
Attached. This is Quran, I believe it.
This is Quran, I believe it. But you investigate the Quran as well, because Quran chapter 4 verse 82 says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجِدُوهُ فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Do they not contemplate the Quran? Had it been from other than God, they will have found there in numerous discrepancies or contradictions. You understand? So you believe in the Quran doesn't mean you just believe, that's all. No, you scrutinize the Quran. You contemplate the Quran. You ask questions. The reason why people contemplate is to ask questions. You understand? If I don't want to ask questions, I just believe blindly. Let's go. No questions asked. You understand? But Quran gives you the chance to ask questions. That's why he says, will you then not reason? Afala ta'kilun? Afala tubsirun? Afala tatafakkarun? Will you then not think, reflect? So reflection demands questions. Contemplation demands questions. Trying to see something, you demand a question. If you tell me you have a passport and I say, let me see, let me see the passport. The moment the issue of seeing comes, let me see. It means I want to eliminate doubt. If you say no questions asked, there's a problem.
Do you fully embrace it? Yes. No questions asked.
What do you mean no question? What's wrong with this bozo? Oh, maybe he doesn't understand English. Excuse my language. He doesn't understand English. Why? Or does he think it's just a term he's just using? No questions asked. You need to ask questions. You understand? Questions are there to eliminate doubt. That's why academically in Salam Liman Imran, academically in the classroom, when the teacher is teaching, after teaching, the teacher asks, any questions? Then the smart students, because always the intelligent students have the question to ask the stupid ones, maybe normally sitting at the back, they have nothing to say. They just say no problem, we understand, even though they don't understand. The idea of asking questions is to eliminate doubt. That's the idea. If you say no questions asked, what do you mean by that?
This is a hadith. Do you take it? Is it authentic?
That's a question asked. This is hadith. Do you take it? Is it authentic? That is question asked. That means you are using logic. Question asked. Don't say don't ask questions. Question asked. Are you getting my point? This is the Quran. Do you take it? How do you know it's the Quran? Oh, take it. Read it and see. Oh, I read it. Oh, yeah, the Quran confirms it is the Quran. Quran chapter 10, verse 37 is confirming it's coming from God. It's the Quran. I investigated it. I didn't see any falsehood. Okay, that is the Quran. You get my point? So you ask the question. So now he himself is saying, is it authentic? Listen. Is it authentic? Then what?
Is it?
That's what I read, yeah.
Then if it's authentic, it's from Allah.
Now, who made it authentic? Was it God? Was it the messenger? The answer is no. The messenger was not even there when these people made it authentic. Because God never revealed a book called Sahih Bukhari or Sahih al-Muslim or Jami al-Tirmidhi or Abi Dawood or Sunan ibn Nisa al-Nasa'i or how will you call it? Sunan ibn Majah. He never revealed all this crap. So who is making them sahih? Who made it authentic? When we say sahih, it means authentic. Who made them authentic? Questions still needs to be asked. Yes, they will say the scholars. Okay, can the scholars make mistake? Look at the analogy he's going to give. Just examine the analogy.
How could I be shaky? Because if you want to be shaky, this means that you don't have certainty.
We don't say certainty, bozo. It is certainty. He says if you are shaky, you don't have certainty. Yes, you don't have certainty. That's why you doubt something. So you ask questions in order to eliminate the doubt. You understand? You ask questions. You ask questions to eliminate doubt. Of course, we have some people who just asking questions. They will ask questions for asking sake. They don't ask to be enlightened. We have people who ask questions to be argumentative. Yes, but we ask questions in order to eliminate doubt.
And when you don't have certainty, you're this close to flipping.
So he says, if you don't have certainty, you are this close to not having certainty. You are this close to becoming what?
To flipping.
You are this close to flipping. You don't have certainty. How do you attain certainty? Certainty is to eliminate doubt first before you attain the level of certainty. Prophet Ibrahim, he asked God to show him how he raised up the dead, right? Moses, even though God says no one can see him, he still asked God, can I see you? The idea is to eliminate doubt. He couldn't see God. That even strengthened his faith because then he knows that, yeah, we cannot see God. The eyes cannot fathom God. Are you getting the point? So the idea is you need to, before you reach certainty, doubt comes first. Just like before you reach the light, darkness comes first. Before you reach the truth, lie has to come first. So you have to know the lie before you discover the truth so that you know what it feels to arrive to the truth. You have to arrive to the doubt before you come to certainty so that you know what it feels like to experience doubt and certainty. You understand? So this is how life takes you, the journey the life takes you on. You don't just say, attain certainty just like that by believing. Believing means you have not actually seen it. I believe in God. Have I seen God before? No. No. I believe because some signs that I see, the experience that I have tells me there's an entity who is in charge of me, more stronger and powerful than me. You understand? So now I need to put my faith there. Are you getting my point? But in order to put my faith, I need to go through trials and tribulations that will make me convinced that, yes, there is God watching me. So similarly, if I'm taking a book to read, I need to go through a cycle of investigating the book to examine what it says. Then it can come to terms with reality. Then I can say, yes, there is God. He revealed this book. It's true. Do you see how logic works? God didn't create us by giving us the 5 senses in vain. He gave it for a reason, so that you can use it wisely. Okay.
To the dark side.
But I mean, how are we able to judge how authentic hadith is? Or
Thank you. Now he's asking Assim. Sneako is not saying he knows how. He's asking Assim, you who claims to be a scholar. By the way, he said he's not a scholar again. There's a video. Let me play the video. Assim said he's not a scholar.
Akhi, when I talk about Islamic issues, I don't talk from my own self. I'm not a scholar. I don't come up and think, yeah, I think this is halal, this is haram.
So this is Assim Al-Hakeem. He said, Akhi, I'm not a scholar. I don't just come up and say, this is halal, this. But he's going to do that to Sneako. This is a hypocrite. Wallahi. Assim Al-Hakeem, you are a hypocrite. I tag you in some of my videos. I know you watch me. You are a big time professional hypocrite who is ripping off the people from their wealth and lying to them. You said you are not a scholar. Okay, here you are. You drink beer. You confessed the last time that this is the video. He drinks beer.
I drink beer, and I'm proud of that. But the beer I drink, before you quote me for that, is from Saudi Arabia, and it has like 2%, maybe 3% alcohol. And it's legal, and it's halal. One says, oh, it has alcohol.
So the beer this guy drinking is from Saudi Arabia, so it's halal. 2%, 3%. This clown, you are paying him over 200 euros to listen to him. What an arrant nonsense and garbage. Seriously, what does this guy has to offer? And he said he's not a scholar, and you still go and pay over 200 euro to listen. Okay, he is going to confess it himself. You listen.
You don't. How do you judge whether this neurosurgeon who's going to do a spine cord surgery on you is authentic?
How do you compare the surgery of a spinal cord with Islam? Does it add up? It doesn't add up. Islam, the Quran is a book of guidance for mankind. The work of surgeon is not for everybody. What kind of foolishness is wrong with these bozos? I'm serious. Why do they keep giving this kind of analogy, stupid analogy, comparing with this? It doesn't add up. The issue of surgeon and the issue of being a Muslim doesn't add up. Say, oh, a surgeon, God simply says in Quran chapter 17, verse 36, وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. Do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. That's what God says. Do not pursue it. Simple. Will I go and be a surgeon if I don't have a knowledge about it? Why? I'll kill people. If I don't study about being a surgeon and I go and do it, I'll kill people. Similarly, God is telling you, do not pursue that of which you have no knowledge. So Sneako is asking a question pertaining to your garbage book so that he can understand. Now look.
Or not?
Judged by opinions of other people.
Okay, so by whose people?
The professionals.
Professionals. So
the professionals can even lie to you. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are in the world where we put politicians in front of us to lead the nations. Don't you see them doing stupid decisions? So just because he's a politician or just because he's a lawmaker, it means he cannot make mistake. It means he cannot lie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you are academically in a classroom and your teacher makes mistake and you, the student, doesn't study, who corrects your teacher? If your teacher makes a mistake, or he fumbles, or he errs, who will correct the teacher? Because you are dependent on the teacher, right? So just because he's a teacher, so he should have all the say. You, the student, you will not study. You will not examine what you are being told. Huh? So if the scholars are making decisions and they have to show you the criteria in which a decision is made, it's simple said and done. God has shown us the criteria. That is why he revealed a book called Al-Furqan, meaning the criterion. You need to distinguish between falsehood and truth, and then the wrong and right. The way of the devil and the way of guidance. MFG. They will say you don't know the way. You are not a Yemeni, yeah? Okay, so the idea here is you need to understand that in every instance of life, there's somebody ahead of you in knowledge. But that doesn't mean the person has the ultimate say. The person who has that knowledge was led to the knowledge, so he has to also show you the means how he arrived to that knowledge. Do you remember the knowledge when Moses went to seek for knowledge? In Quran chapter 18, verse 65, when you read up to verse 82, when Moses went to seek for knowledge, you see, he was questioning the teacher, and the teacher was willing to explain, but at the end, because he has to explain. You get the point? The teacher has to explain himself. You don't just follow a teacher who cannot explain the reasons why things happen and what this, what that. A teacher needs to explain and give you answers so that you will understand why things are happening around you. So you don't just let the teacher just tell you his opinion. Imagine you are in a classroom and the teacher is giving you his opinions. How will you pass the exams? It's just opinion, right? So when you go to the exams hall, are you going to write the teacher's opinion? You will fail the exams because it's not about opinion. It's about facts, things that can be proven that you write. Are you getting my point? So now let's listen to the...
You go to the scholars.
That's why I'm asking you.
So now Sneako is now saying that's why he's asking him, and he asked him a fair question. He asked him a fair question. How do you know that this is authentic or this is this? Then Assim say you go to the scholars. Then Sneako says that's why I'm asking you. You get the point?
I'm coming to you. I'm not answering yet. I'm just...
Oh, Assim, here you didn't tell him you are not a scholar. You say you are coming to him. It means you are a scholar, right? So you are coming to Sneako now. You're going to give him the answer we are expecting. So let's see till the end of the video if the answer was there.
Setting the foundation for the belief.
So now, Assim says he's setting the foundation for the belief. So the foundation for Sneako to have the belief. So let's see if the foundation can stand the test of time.
The biggest problem we have with the Westerners from America and from Canada and from Europe is that they don't have their Islam on cemented area. They're so easy to flip to the other side. And that's
what does this guy mean? They don't have Islam on the cemented side. Which side is that? The Hadith books? No, which one? That the one you coupled with the garbage books? God says in Quran chapter 2, verse 42. Quran chapter 2, verse 42. Listen what God says. God says to the believers, وَلَا تَلْبِسُوا الْحَقَّ بِالْبَاطِلِ وَتَكْتُمُوا الْحَقَّ وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. He says, and do not cover the truth with falsehood. Or you can say, do not mix the truth with falsehood and conceal the truth while you know. I need my glasses. Yes, 2Gs. I need my glasses. Thank you very much. Ture, is it Ture Salman, right? Thank you. So God says, do not cover the truth with falsehood. You can say, do not mix the truth with falsehood and conceal the truth while you know. You, the mushriks, some people like Mufti Menk, Asim Al-Hakeem, Yasir Kadi, you name them, Uthman Farouk, Zakir Naik, what they do is they cover the truth with falsehood. So they propagate the falsehood in front, then they hide the lie behind, then they use the snippet of the truth. So they give you small truth, then they throw a lot of trash into the concept of Islam for you. So when the Westerners are questioning this, stop telling them they are flipping. What do you mean flipping? They have been taught how to use logic. So when you bring something nonsensical, you don't expect a Westerner to ask you questions? Seriously. Yes, cleaning team solutions. You're welcome. Yes, MFG is a brother. Okay, let's go on.
You find many of them starting to be good and strong and mashallah, and all of a sudden, I have doubts.
Thank you. He says many of the Westerners, they will come in Islam strong and making efforts and so on. And after some time, they say, I have doubts. Because he's starting to see bozos in that cycle of lifestyle. How can he just come from the West and all of a sudden you are telling him somebody marries 6 years old girl, and then you are telling him somebody leaves Islam, kill him. You are telling him somebody doesn't believe in your religion, they have to pay you tax. Hey, come and pay tax. You don't believe. So when you start believing, we take you off the list. Then you don't need to pay tax. What do you mean? Seriously.
Why? The Prophet married Aisha when she was 9. Ooh, you're a kafir.
Look. So just because the person questioned and said the Prophet married Aisha when she was 6 years and he consummated the marriage at 9 years, you say the person, because the person has a doubt on this, he's a kafir. How does logic equate with this? You tell me why a Westerner will not question this kind of religion. Is that what God gave you? Okay, open the Quran and show us where it says the Prophet married a girl. A girl. It doesn't exist. If this thing was very, very important, how come it is left out from the Quran? It's not nowhere to be found in the Quran. And as a matter of fact, God calls the wives of the Prophet Nisa. They are Nisa. So they are women. They are not girls. He didn't marry girls. He married women. Seriously. And you let bozos like Assim, Al-Hakeem just sit down and then even take money again from you. Let's go.
If you doubt the Prophet for a second, you're a full-fledged.
You are not doubting the Prophet for a second. What kind of foolish scholars are these? It is not the Prophet you are doubting. You are doubting the garbage narration that they are presenting to you, accusing the Prophet of doing this horrendous act, or stupid act they are alleging to this honorable man. That is what you are doubting. So to them, the moment you say you reject an hadith, automatically they think you are rejecting the Prophet. That is the foolishness they have in the head. I don't know how they have been programmed, but I tell you the mushriks the brain is kaput. So I think their brain is from Temu. Sometimes Temu has good stuff. Yeah. Some things from Temu are good. No, not from Temu actually. Their brain, I don't know where it's coming from. No, Temu is good. I'm sorry, Temu, if you are watching. I'm sorry, Temu, you are good. I have some few products from Temu. They are good actually. The brain, I don't know where they get it from. Seriously. It is from like a trash market. Let's go.
Kafir, get the heck out of my house. Don't even think about it. No second chances. Islam is crystal clear. The Prophet said, I've left you on Islam, which is as clear as night and day.
Hey, this guy says, the Prophet says, I left you Islam, which is as clean as night and day. Is that so? No, is that so? It's clear as night and day? Hey, that Islam is the one they have in the Hadith, not from the Quran. Huh? Yes, the halal beer. Yes, he left. He left that Islam for the halal beer 3%. These mushriks, I don't understand them. Yeah, he is so serious. They are laughing because they find it funny. He is a good comedian, by the way. Assim Al-Hakeem is a good comedian. I like his comedy too.
There's nothing ambiguous in it.
There's nothing what? He said the Islam that the Prophet left according to their hadith books, there's nothing ambiguous. The hadith books, they have da'if. When we say da'if, it means weak. It means doubt. This is ambiguous. They have their hadith, which is Hasan. They have Qudusi. They have Sahih. All these have doubt in them. You can give a Sahih hadith to a mushrik and he will reject it in broad daylight. They have hadith which tells a woman to feed a grown man, breastfeed. Yes. And all these hadiths are there. It is only when you give it to a bozo scholar, he will start rejecting it right in front of you and tell you, I don't know about this hadith. I need to go and cross-check. He will never come back again. Wallahi. They have hadiths which tells you to kill people when they leave their religion. All these hadiths are sahih. And these people are exhorting you to follow these books.
So if someone has the hesitation and is not certain, you know how many counseling sessions I do?
Now, he's bringing the counseling session into the topic of discussion. Now, listen to what he's going to say concerning the counseling.
Over the year?
He says, do you know how many counseling sessions I do over the year? Now, listen.
Thousands.
Thousands. Somebody who is not a scholar and somebody who drinks beer. And this beer is 2%, 3%. And ladies and gentlemen, from Saudi Arabia, it is halal.
I counsel people for money.
And he's telling you he counsels people for money. That's what he does for their living. He counsels people for money. Right? He's not hiding to you because he already got you bozos out there. He counsels you for money. And he's going to mention.
They come to me, they pay me $220 per hour.
They pay me $220 per what?
Hour.
Per hour. So that old video pictures we have been seeing, $100, he has increased it. I don't know it's because of tax or it's because of, some tariffs and shipping charges or delivery fee. He has added all these tariffs and taxes. So now it's 220. Hey, Azim, subhanallah. Where is this guy? Now I have the new meme. Where is the meme? Please, where are you? Oh, where are you? Oh, where did I even save this meme? Huh? Where is it?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
I'm cheap. So what's the problem? And they come to me and say, Sheikh, I'm not certain that Allah exists. And you're a kafir.
What? The person just came to you and he says, Sheikh, I'm not sure that Allah exists. He said, no, you are a kafir. Then he hangs up the call. So this person paid you 220 to just ask you this question and you hang up. Sheikh, I'm not sure Allah exists. Hey, you are a kafir. So the person paid 220 so that you would tell him he's a kafir, and then you hang up. What? The person paid 220. And then he said he's not sure God exists, and you said, you are a kafir, then you hang up. 220, and there's no refund. He didn't talk about the refund policy because we are also planning to call him. Imagine me calling him and say, pay 220, and then he say, hey, this is correctional officer. I follow the Quran alone. Hey, you are a kafir. Wallahi, he will give me a refund. Hey, Sheikh, why? Let's go.
End of call. Watch out.
You see, the guys around him are laughing because they find it funny. It's like comedy. There's nothing serious from the things he's saying. It's like comedy, to be honest.
If you doubt something in Islam that is beyond doubt, the Prophet ﷺ.
He says, if you doubt something in Islam that is beyond doubt, listen carefully. If you doubt something in Islam which is beyond doubt, Those things are just believe in God, believe in his angels, believe in his books, believe in his messengers, and do not separate between his messengers. These things are beyond doubt. This thing, the list I just mentioned, that is beyond doubt. Believing in God, believing in his angels, believing in his books, believing in his messengers, believing in the day of judgment, that there's a day of judgment. This 5 in the list is beyond doubt. Because every worker knows that there is a day of payment, salary, the day of salary, right? Every worker. If you are a worker, you know the day you are going to be paid. So every servant knows the day, there's a day of payment. So that's a fact. It is believed beyond doubt. You know there's God who created you. You don't come by chance yourself. So someone owns you. That's God. And you know he has soldiers watching you. Just like today, when you go to a shopping mall, there's cameras all over. Then there's security guards. Apart from the cameras you see hiding all over, there are security guards that when you transgress, a security guard can come and take you. So logically, the God who is watching us, he has his cameras, surveillance cameras, and then he has his security guards, which are the angels. They are the soldiers of God. Then he sent messengers, and these messengers he sent are angels, and also the angels come to the human beings, and then the human being now comes to the people to deliver the message. So this message being delivered to the people becomes a form of a book. So that's the book of God. So now you believe in God, you believe in his angels, you believe in his messengers, you believe in his books, and these books are telling you there's a day of judgment. So that's the day you'll be paid. So these 5 beliefs are beyond doubt. Now, any other issue you are presented, you can be skeptical about it because you are trying to understand. So it's a gradual process. You understand? You'll be confused. Just like we have people who are confused concerning the birth of Jesus, saying that, oh no, they don't believe Jesus is a miraculous birth. But these same people believe that God blew a spirit into Adam. God blew a spirit into a clay and it became a human being. These same bozos, they believe that. And these same bozos believe that God created another human being out of Adam, which is his wife. So this same God cannot create Jesus without a father? Hey, you understand? So these people have doubts. You get the point? So gradual process, you need to ask questions. But some people are just stupid. You explain, and you are not getting anywhere. They will never understand you. Let's go.
If you look down at him, if you think bad about him, if you think something wrong with the Quran, if you think Allah Azza wa Jal is unfair, you're a kafir. We don't have to beat around the bush. But if you have a doubt, why did this happen? I'll explain it to you. This is why I'm here.
Hey! So, Assim, now this is why you are here. You are going to explain the doubts. Interesting.
I don't know why the Prophet married Aisha when she was 9. And he was 15.
He didn't marry Aisha when she was 9. According to your hadith books, he married her when she was 6 years old. Yes, he married her when she was 6 years old and consummated the marriage at 9 years old. So stop lying to the people that, he married her at 9 years old. That's what your hadith book Sahih is saying. You understand? Their own hadith books. That's what he's saying. So let me give you here. When you go to Sahih al-Bukhari, 5134, you can write it down, right? 5134, Sahih al-Bukhari, 5134. It says that the Prophet married her, Aisha, she's narrating, she was 6 years old, and he consummated, meaning he started sleeping with her when she became 9 years old. So it wasn't as if he married her at 9 years, according to them, their own books. We don't believe in this nonsense. It's not from the Quran, anyway. So let's go.
50 years of age. It doesn't sound good, but I accept it.
What? You see what Assim said? It doesn't sound good, but he accepts it. You accept it for an honorable man, but you don't accept it for yourselves. As in Al-Hakeem, we don't see you marrying a 6-year-old girl or 9-year-old girl. We don't see you doing that.
Do you think bad of the Prophet Islam? Is he a pedophile? Astaghfirullah. I would be a kafir thinking this.
Because he never did. The real prophet of the Quran never married a 6-year-old girl. He's not a pedophile. The one you have in your hadith books is a pedophile. Yes. Not the one God sent. The one God sent is not a pedophile. You understand? Get that right. There's a difference.
But I just want justification. I explained it to you. And I'll remove all doubt in your head.
He never removed any doubt in Sneako's head. He never removed any doubt. There was no doubt he eliminated from Sneako's head. So these guys are just pure bozos. Next week, I'll be doing another impression on the video. I have an extended video of Sneako and Ali Dawa and Usman Farouk. It's about 15 minutes. So I might be touching on that next week, right? So this is Al-Hakeem trying to convince Sneako. So you can put at Sneako, just at him, at Sneako, and let's see if he gets to watch this video. That man is trying to fool you. That whatever nonsense he's telling you is not from God, right? That is his opinion and from the garbage book. So don't pay attention to such an imposter. Anyways, let's move on to the main topic of today. Let me play this guy's video. Ayoob Karim. Ayoob Karim did a video on me in the beginning of this, was it last week, right? He did a video on me last week. Yes, that was last week when I was touching up on Muhammad Hijab. So I was expecting that such a man like this will just give me a call or get in touch with me if you don't understand why Baba Shuaib chose a word. But in the beginning of the video, he said he was not crossing swords with me, which is okay. You are not crossing swords. But at the end of the video, then he actually crossed the swords with me. So then I found that statement hypocritical. If you said you are not crossing swords, then you end up crossing swords. It doesn't add up. That's what a hypocrite does. That's why I call you a hypocrite. And I even tag you. You are in my WhatsApp group. I tagged you and I told you, if you are man enough, let's have a dialogue. We can have a respectful dialogue. I know you are not coming anyway. You are just like the other old paps. You guys are scared to have a dialogue because I will embarrass you, to be honest. Let's lay down the foundation. Wallahi, I will embarrass you guys. Since you are coming out as hypocrites, let's mark it on the wall. I will embarrass you. So I'm going to touch up on your hypocrisy. So this guy did a video. Listen to this video first of all. He said he's not crossing swords, but listen to what he did.
Months, I have received many queries on the subject of the litany with questions like, what is litany? What does litany mean? Does litany mean salah? Now, I am aware that Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, uses the words the litany. He is free to believe as he wishes. So, I am free to believe as I see fit. This video of mine is not to cross swords, but I have to tell the truth irrespective of whether he agrees with me or not. This video is for the viewers who want clarification on the subject of the litany. I have to state in no uncertain terms that I strongly disagree with Baba Shuaib on the subject of the litany, and here's why.
Now, so you heard him clearly. Now, what didn't sit right with me? You see the statement he started with? He's not crossing swords. But then he said people have been sending him messages about the litany. If you are old enough like this and you have some iota of wisdom or sense in the head, the best thing you were supposed to do is, you are not the one who spoke about litany. It was Baba Shuaib. Are you at odds with Baba Shuaib? Do you hate me? If the answer is no. Are you a hypocrite against me? If the answer is no. What is your beef that you couldn't even address at, like, contact me and say, hey, Baba Shuaib, people are actually asking me concerning litany. Could we actually have a discussion? Let's have a dialogue, or let's have a discussion. I want to invite you, Baba Shuaib, so that we discuss why you chose the word litany. This is what a wise person is supposed to do. Anybody in his right frame of mind That's the best way to do. And I'm going to show you the reason why. The reason why I'm classifying this person as a hypocrite, by the end of this program, you are going to understand why he's a hypocrite. First of all, let me take you to the Quran, chapter 47, verse 24 to 29, to show you what transpired at the time of the prophet, what some of the believers who later on became hypocrites, what they did towards the prophet. And this same thing is going to repeat in our time. So in Quran chapter 47, Surah to Muhammad, then I start with you from verse 24. Let me put it on the screen. Then you see it. Here. I put it on the screen. Here. Sorry. Yeah. I'm going to start from verse 24 and I'm reading up to verse 29. Chapter 47. So he says, do they then not contemplate the Quran? Or are there locks upon the hearts? That is their hearts. Do people have locks? Okay, if not, verse 25. Indeed, those who turned upon their backs after what had become clear to them of the guidance, the devil has enticed them and dictated for them. It continues. That is because they said to those who hated what God has revealed. This is what a hypocrite does. They said to those who hated what God has revealed, we will obey you in some of the matter, and God knows their secrets. 27. So how will it be when the angels cause their death, slapping their faces and their backsides? Verse 28. That is because they followed what enraged God and hated his approval. So he has foiled their deeds. Verse 29. Or did those in whose hearts is disease think that God will never bring out their hatred? It continues. Verse 30. And if we willed, we could show them to you, and you will know them by their mark. But you will know them through the solecism of speech, and God knows their deeds. So you will know such people through the solecism of speech. I'm just using this as an example, just as it happened to the prophet at the prophet's time. The hypocrisy that people around him who have disease in their hearts actually hiding their hatred, the hatred would eventually come out. Okay. What believers are supposed to do is found in Quran chapter, let me put the verse. Quran chapter 42, and I take you to verse 38, right? In Quran chapter 42, verse 38, it's telling you about believers and what believers normally have to do if actually it is true believer. God says, as well as those who have responded to their Lord, because a believer has responded to his Lord, and established the litany, that's the salat. I chose the word litany and I'll explain to you why. And whose affair is by consultation, shura. The affair of believers is by consultation. You want to come at Baba Shuaib? Consult me. If you actually stand on the same grounds with me, consult me. Let's talk about something. The reason why I'm saying this guy actually attacked me, if you check the video, the thumbnail he used was what? Let me put the picture of the thumbnail. Let me put the picture of the thumbnail he chose to use. Let me see here. This was the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail he used. He said, exposing the litany of Shuaib. So you put my thumbnail, which means I'm the center of attention. You are coming for me. You said you are not going to cross swords. You are not going to cross swords. But at the end, I'm going to show people how you crossed swords. It's just simple. God says, I will know you, your hatred, I will know it through the solecism of your speech. And we are going to check it. I'm going to use your same speech, and I'm going to use your own contradiction and how you flip-flop. I don't know if your brain is intact, but I will show the people. If it's not intact, they will judge at the end. Anyways, so that is the picture Ayoob Karim used against me. So I was the center of attention in that. Good. Remember, he's drawing partners with the other old man. Huh? Okay. They are all scared to face me in the dialogue, though. But let's go. So now let's go back to the verse I was reading. In Quran chapter 42, verse 38. So God says, these believers, they are whose affair is by what? Consultation among them, and from what we have provided for them, they disperse. The interesting part is coming. As well as those whom, when injustice befalls them, they defend themselves. Just like I'm defending myself now. There's an injustice here. The just way was, Ayoob, Karim, if you are man enough and you are a man of intellect, give Baba Shuaib a call, text me, let's have a discussion. Invite me to your platform and say, Baba Shuaib, people are asking about litany. I want to have a discussion with you so that you can clarify for my audience. That is what a wise person does. But of course, the opposite of that is what Ayoob Karim did. Then again, verse 40. And the requital for an offense is an offense like it. But whoever pardons and reconciles, then his reward is with God. Indeed, he does not like the transgressors. Okay, so let's drop this part. Now, Ayoob Karim said he's not crossing swords with Baba Shuaib. It's a liar. And I'm going to show you how he crossed swords with me. So now this is the video. Let me play the video to show you how he crossed swords with him, with me. So I'm going to ask the question, are you bozo? Your name is Ayoob. If you are not a bozo, let's see. So this is how he crossed swords with me. After telling the people he wasn't crossing swords. So just listen to him carefully here. On what Ayoob Karim said, 186. Here, this is where he attacked me.
A Christian concept of shirk, a Christian practice of shirk, and try to superimpose it into the Quran. Are you people serious? Are you right in your heads?
Who was he talking to? Did Baba Shuaib tell you that I took a Christian concept to put in the Quran? Where in my translation, it's obvious you guys are envious of what Baba Shuaib has achieved. You and the other bozo, Hamza Malik, where is your own full copy of translation? Present it, let's see. Let's examine your full translation of the Quran. You, Ayoob Karim, you, Hamza Malik, bring me your full translated copy of the Quran. And let's check. Let's examine. Invite Baba Shuaib. I will sit down with you. Let's examine it for the world to see. You don't dare. And I'm going to expose your foolishness. You were talking with hate. Look at how he was talking. Just listen.
But one can see that Baba Shuaib is desperate to uphold and promote his litany.
I'm desperate for what? Baba Shuaib, he says one can see that Baba Shuaib is desperate. I'm desperate for what? To what? To uphold and promote his litany. Where in the Quran does it say Baba Shuaib's litany? Are you just a shallow-minded person? You yourself, this is what you said, Ayoob Karim.
Litany means prayer and or supplication. Yes, that is true.
Now this is a hypocrite I'm just watching on my screen. You yourself are demeted to what litany means. If litany can mean prayer, salat is prayer. But you don't limit it to prayer. So that is what I did in my translation. I didn't limit salat to prayer. So whoever saw my translation, here, I'm going to show you something on the screen. Whoever has read my translation of the Quran, check the screen carefully. I'm going to write prayer here. Now, people think I only translated the word salat to mean prayer. That's not what I did. To mean litany. And I'm going to show you how many translations of salat I did in the Quran. Now, when you read my translation, for example, chapter 3, verse 39, you see I wrote yusalli in prayer, to pray. Then I go again. Chapter 6, verse 162. Here, I wrote litany and into bracket prayer. I was trying to show the sensible people that the origin of the word litany comes from the litania. So it is prayer. I wasn't talking in the concept of Christianity. Foolish people like Ayoob Karim thought I was actually aligning the salat with the litany of Christianity. That is what foolish people do. Yes. Who is a fool? A fool is someone who lacks good judgment. If you had good judgment, you will know that Shuaib was talking about litania. That is the root essence of the thing. That is how I translated the Quran. I wasn't referring to Christian litany. I wasn't even talking about Christian concepts. It is God now letting me know how you hated me to expose yourself with your foolishness. And I'm going to play a full video. Look how he attacked me.
So this is what he does. Take a look at this desperate move.
So he goes ahead to play my video. And he says it's a desperate move. I'm going to show you the foolishness he did again here. Look. So he went to the last page of my video. Then he put where I put verses to say this is the confirmation of the litany. I can say this is the confirmation of the prayer. I can say this is the confirmation of the salah. I can say this is the confirmation of the liturgy. You understand? Baba Shuaib, whatever I do it for sensible people, intelligent people, not fools and not hypocrites. Right? Okay. Now, when you watch the screen carefully, I said confirmation of the litany. I am not saying that the word litany is written in those verses. Just listen what this shallow-minded person is going to do.
So he provides 3 references from the Old Testament. Dear viewers, the word litany does not appear in these verses of the Bible.
Is that what Baba Shuaib said? Did I say litany appears in these 3 verses I put there? That's what fools do. They take your words and misconstrue your words. Again, let's go.
I checked the Douay Bible, the King James Version of the Bible, all 4 editions. I checked the Revised Standard Version of 1952 and the RSV of 1971 and the New International Version of 1990. The word prayer is found in these verses.
Ayoob Karim, are you not the same person who said litany means prayer?
Litany means prayer and or supplication. Yes, that is true.
It sounds to me that somebody is playing mind games here.
And not the word litany. So Baba Shuaib takes all these words, prayer, salah, litany, and rolls all of it into one like a sausage. If this is not fitna, then what is it?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Oh, Ayoob Karim. So now, this is where I said Ayoob Karim attacked me. He said, I'm desperate. And again, he said, I'm causing fitna. And he says, what I did is mindless ritual. Just because he hates rituals. This fool doesn't know that he himself practices ritual. And I'm going to show you. This fool, you are watching on your screen, he practices rituals. But he doesn't know the meaning of rituals. He doesn't even know the meaning of what we call worship. And I'm going to expose you for the world to see. Seriously. Now, you brought yourself, right? So I'm going to deal with you accordingly. Okay. So now, when you got into my translation, I've even used the word liturgy. And I'm going to show you. I've used the word liturgy in my translation. I didn't limit salat to prayer only. So now you see here, let me put here, liturgy. So when you take my translation here, when you go to Quran chapter 8 verse 35, you find out that the disbelievers were also doing salat. So what they were doing is they were also doing litany or liturgy in their own way. They were doing a prayer in their own way. They were doing a ritual, a liturgy in their own way. So Quran chapter 8 verse 35 asked this hypocrite Ayoob to translate. I'm wasting my time because he doesn't even have his own translation. That is the problem. Chapter 8 verse 35. You see, I translated and I said, and they are litany. Then I put into bracket liturgy because I'm not limiting the word salat to one word. I just want you to have the concept, the gist of what is happening. You understand? So I put their litany and I put into bracket liturgy, because I wouldn't want to limit it to litany. Okay, at the house was only singing and clapping. Then we go to the next verse. Go down. Chapter 14, verse 31. You see again, I translated, tell my servant who believe to establish the litany. Then I put into bracket liturgy, because they are both acts of worship, and they are both acts of showing devotion, and they are both acts of prayer. You understand? So the word salat has the compass of prayer, supplication, liturgy, litany. Is all embedded inside. And I'm going to take you to the classical Arabic to show you all this evidence. I tell you, Baba Shuaib does everything for a reason, and I can prove whatever I do. So let me listen to this video again. I don't do anything that I cannot prove, but it seems that when people don't understand what I do or why I'm doing something, they are quick to judge. Quran chapter 18 verse 65. Remember, Moses was a prophet, right? But he went to another servant of God to seek knowledge. Sometimes the perspective you are looking at things, you might think you are right, till you go and meet another person. Maybe God has gifted him more than you. Then you get to realize, oh, you are actually falling behind. And that is why I open up for dialogue. I watch you just like you watch me. I master the art of double checking you more than you check me. So whatever you think you are coming with, I've already prepared the weapons on the side, because I know all of you are watching, especially the people who are coming for my neck. So I get prepared for all of your heebie-jeebies. This is how I'll be taking all of you one by one when you come at me. So go back and study. Just because you don't have understanding of something doesn't mean the other person is wrong. Just because it's beyond your imagination or understanding. Let's have a dialogue, one-on-one. Baba Shuaib will bring you, and let's face it out. Yeah. So people like Ayoob, people like Hamza Mali, people like all the bozos we have in the No Ritual group, it is because of them I made such a video. It's telling you, if you are in your right senses, Baba Shuaib is your younger brother, or I can be your son. Give me a call. Call me. Invite me. That is why I always respect Umar Zaid. This elder, I respect him very much. Salam to you, Imran Khan. I respect Umar Zaid very, very much. He will give me a call. He will send me a message. Baba Shuaib, let's have a discussion. He will ask me. It doesn't mean Umar Zaid that you watch my program with him. It doesn't mean he agrees with me 100%. But he wants to know my perspective. He wants to know my standing point of view, because I can clarify everything I do. It takes fools to stand far away and throw stones at me. And at the beginning, the hypocrite says, I'm not crossing swords with Baba Shuaib. You are a fool to say that. You think I'm scared of you guys? I will embarrass all of you, the mushriks, the hypocrites. I will embarrass you, to be honest. Mark it on the wall. If you're coming to me like this, watch it. Quran chapter 22, verse 35. Yeah, Quran chapter 22, verse 35. Now, you see here, when you take Quran chapter 22, verse 35, my translation, whom when God is mentioned, their hearts are fearful, and they are patient over whatever afflicts them, and they establish the liturgy. You see, because many a times when I put litany, I'll put liturgy into bracket just to show you that it is not limited to just one word. Are you getting my point? Because salat can be done in different cycles. You can even do salat whilst you are walking. Yeah, you are walking. Chapter 2, verse 239. If you're walking, you can do salat. If you're riding a horse, or you are sitting in the car, in the bus, in an aeroplane, you can do salat. Are you getting my point? Then salat can be done when you are alone. And salat can be done when you are in a group. So when you are in a group, it can be a form of liturgy. When you are alone, you can do it in the concept of a dua, a supplication, a prayer. Just like we saw Zechariah in Quran chapter 3, verse 39. He was alone. You understand? It is not a public worship he was doing. He was alone. So you can see it as a prayer. You can see it as a litany. You can see it as a liturgy. It's not limited to just one meaning. So I brought a broader concept in the translation. So you have foolish people like Ayoob Bozo taking my video and throwing jabs at me. I'm going to expose you today. You are going to see. So you go through my translation again. Quran chapter 22, verse 41. You will see liturgy mentioned. Whom, if we establish them on earth, will establish the liturgy. So I didn't limit it to even litany alone, because it's a broader concept. Again, let's go. The next one, if you go to Quran chapter 24, verse 37, you will see establish the liturgy. Is there. You go, the next one, Quran chapter 24, verse 41. You understand? For the birds, I put liturgy because it's a public, you understand? It's a public worship the birds do. The birds also, animals also worship God. You see the birds flying in the sky, making a point, and one leader in the front. They are all doing right. They are rites. It's a ritual they do, or it's a rite they do. Any repeated cycle that you are doing can be your ritual. It doesn't only, it's not only limited to religion. Okay, so let's go. You go to Quran chapter 24, verse 56, and establish the liturgy and the charity and obey the messenger, so that it goes on and on. So I gave many examples. You look throughout my translation, you will see liturgy again. You will see prayer here. You see liturgy. You see litany. And I'm not talking about litany in this concept of Christianity. Okay. Now that you have seen the evidence, let me play Ayoob Karim's video again, who said he's not crossing swords with me, right? But he just crossed swords. So let's go to his next video. His next video is this one. Let's go to what litany, the accusation he laid down on me. This is the accusation Ayoob Karim did.
If and when we translate the word salah to the litany, for example, if a Christian reads the Quran, the phrase wa aqimus salah, translated to and establish the litany or read the litany, they will immediately think that the Quran upholds and promotes litany.
You see the foolishness here? Do you see the foolishness of this man here? He says, if a Christian reads the Quran, if a Christian, no, the word litany, is it for Christians? No, the word litany, Ayoob Karim, is it for Christians? Is it Christians who invented the word litany? So automatically, if a Christian reads the Quran and he sees litany, he automatically thinks, oh, this guy is a bozo. Are you bozo? If you, this kind of people, Hamza Malik, Ayoob Karim, if you are in the forefront of the Quran alone followers to face the mushriks, wallahi, it's a losing match. You guys are going to lose with this foolishness.
So at night, before they go to bed, they will read a litany, maybe the litany of Virgin Mary.
Look at the foolishness again. Tell me in any translation of Baba Shuaib where it talks you to go and read litany of Virgin Mary, where it says go and read the litany of Jesus, where it says go and read the litany of Christians. Where in my translation, when you took my video of Salat, did you see where it says call on Virgin Mary? Did you see where it says you yourself, you admitted this is what litany means? This is what Ayoob Karim said. Listen.
Litany means prayer and or supplication. Yes, that is true.
By bozo.
And think that there is nothing wrong with it, because the word litany is also found in the Quran. So now you make the Quran to promote your litany shirk.
This guy is talking out of frustration, to be honest.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
How can the litany found in the Quran promote shirk? Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you here. I'm going to show you something interesting. Ayoob Karim, let's let the AI help you. It seems you have a shallow mind. So let's use the AI to help you out. Ladies and gentlemen, do you see this? This is Copilot. Copilot, I'm not using the free version. I use the paid version. For those who can see the screen, let me put it to show you something. Normally, I have interaction with Copilot in my car. I have it connected in my car. So we do have discussions. You can have a voice talk with the AI, a Copilot. It's a paid version, so let me show you. I pay every month. You see here in the corner here, it will tell you Baba Pro. You see, it's a Pro version. And in a month, I pay about, it's like 24 euros in a month. Yeah. So when I sit in the car, we talk. That's co-pilot, sorry. We have a discussion in the car. So when we use this kind of advanced AI, it actually opens out your, how will I say, your lane of understanding to a broader concept, because the point is here. Somebody is saying it's not how will I say, Umar Sataur says it's not copilot. No, I can say copilot because there is no hyphen. If there's the you understand, if there's a hyphen there, I can say co-pilot. But if it's written directly, I can just pronounce it directly. That's the rules of English language, right? It's just like cooperation. Cooperation sometimes have this, hyphen in the this thing, or in the middle to separate the pronunciation. But sometimes you can join it and pronounce it. There's nothing wrong. So now, when you take this, I usually have discussion with it on advanced levels. Yes, because this is the paid version and I'm paying 24. Normally you find the cheaper versions, you pay 3 euros, 4 euros. This is expensive. 24 euros a month, right? Okay, I'm going to show you something. Based on what Ayoob Karim said, I'm going to show you something. Now, let's take the word litany. And this is the question I'm going to ask the co-pilot. Now here, I ask it to define the word litany outside the Christian context, outside the context of Christianity. So this is what it says. Do you see what it says? It says, sure, outside of a Christian context, litany refers to a repetitive or long series of items, statements, or complaints, often delivered in a tedious or monotonous manner. For example, you might hear someone say she recited a litany of reasons for being late, which implies a long list of excuses or explanations. It can also be used more generally for any lengthy enumeration, whether spoken or written, without necessarily carrying a negative connotation. How is that for an eliminating explanation? Now, this is what the AI has to say. Now, you see the concept here outside the context of Christianity. This is the word. But then I'm going to show you where the word actually comes from. The word litany, where does it stem from? Because according to Ayoob Karim, what he is failing to understand is, he thought when I use the word litany, I'm trying to put it in the lane of Christianity. So when he did the video, he just went on a rampage to start addressing the issue from a Christian perspective. If you have watched Ayoob Karim's video, when he was attacking me, he was using the argument in the lane of a Christian argument, saying just because I use the word litany, so automatically it means for Christians. So now let's ask the AI. Look here, what the AI says concerning this. Just a second. Sorry, not this one. I want to put this one here. The question is here. I asked the AI, did the word litany exist before the Christian faith? The answer is yes. The word litany predates Christianity. Listen carefully. It originates from the Greek word litania, which means prayer. And then, or supplication. And is derived from lite, meaning entreaty or supplication. This term was used in ancient Greek culture for prayers or petitions, often dedicated to their gods. This term. So it is the term I am using. It doesn't mean the term is exclusive. It is a term you can use to do for other things. Just like when we are talking and I say God. God. When a Christian says God, he has a concept of God in the head. When a Muslim says God, he has a different concept of God in the head. When a Jew says God, he has a different concept. When you mention any type of God anybody mention has a different concept in their own context. So if I say God and I'm a Muslim, the moment you know I'm a Muslim, I'm talking about Allah. Are you getting the logic here? So when a Muslim says litany, it is in the context of the Quran. I'm talking about prayer and supplication or entreaty and so on. I'm not talking about Christian litany, for God's sake. What is wrong with this guy, Ayoob Karim? What is wrong with your logic? Are you a kid? Thank you, Umar Sataur. Are you a kid, for God's sake? So now you can see litany actually was there before even Christians took over the word. And they use it because you can borrow a word and use it. There's nothing wrong. You yourself, Ayoob Karim, this is what you said.
Litany means prayer and or supplication. Yes, that is true.
So what is wrong with Baba Shuaib using litany to translate? Did I say Christian litany in my translation? No. Okay, now let's go on. The word liturgy. Also, I'm going to ask the AI, listen what liturgy is. The question is, did the word liturgy exist before the Christian faith? Because we all know liturgies are done by Christians, normally, popularly done by Christians, right? So now, yes, the word liturgy existed before Christianity. So when Baba Shuaib used the word liturgy, I'm still not talking in the concept of Christianity. You just need to ask the translator. You just need to ask the one who is using that word to explain to your shallow brain. Yes, the word liturgy existed before Christianity. It originates from the ancient Greek. Liturgia, you see, which means public service or work for the people in class, because salat can be done in a public form. Just as we see in Quran chapter 62, verse 9 to verse 11, the prophet was standing in prayer and the people left him for their entertainment and business. It can be done in a public form. So when Baba Shuaib translates it as liturgy, is to give you a broader understanding of the word. I'm not limiting it to just prayer, like to sit down and say, God, give me money. God, give me money. That's all. No, I'm expanding the concept. But shallow-minded people like Hamza Malik and Ayoob Karim have lost the game. They are out of the race. You guys have no clue. Let's go. And again, here, I asked the AI again. Now here, so I asked the AI, here, can the word litany other than a Christian context be a synonym of prayer? So then he said, not quite. While litany can refer to a series of prayers within a Christian context, in non-religious or secular contexts, it usually doesn't directly equate to prayer. Instead, it more commonly refers to a repetitive and lengthy list, as in a litany of complaints. Because me using the word litany is to broaden the concept of prayer, not to make it a limited word like a prayer, and I would just say, God, give me money. So I'm trying to enlarge the scope of understanding that the prayer you are doing, it can be in a repetitive instance, not just prayer like, oh God, give me money. So the actually instance of understanding the litany in the Quran is a concept whereby you can do things in a repeated form. Are you getting the concept? So here, the breakdown is given to you. However, if used metaphorically, one might describe a heartfelt or repetitive expression of desires, hopes, appeals as a litany, which could loosely evoke a connection to the concept of prayer. That said, it's not typically used as a direct synonym for prayer outside of religious context. Subtle, but interesting. Now, the choice of word I use The choice of words I use was to just show you the broader concept of a word, not to limit the word to one corner. That is why people like Ayoob, Karim will tell you salat doesn't mean prayer, because they think when we say prayer, it means to just sit down and say, God, give me money, or God, give me a wife. That's all. That's not the actual instance we are talking about here. So now, listen to Ayoob Karim, why he doesn't want to use the word prayer. Listen to what he said. This is Ayoob Karim, why he doesn't want to use the word prayer. Where is the video? Here.
Say that Salah is prayer. I believe Salah is not prayer. In fact, I do not like to use the word prayer because...
Did you hear what he said? He's telling you his opinion. He does not like to use the word prayer. He didn't say it doesn't mean prayer. He says, I do not like to use the word prayer. He's going to tell you the reason why.
Because there is a lot of paganism attached to this word prayer.
Because there is a lot of paganism attached to the word prayer. That is why he doesn't use the word prayer. Do you see the point? That is why he doesn't use the word prayer. It is not because salat doesn't mean prayer. It is because Ayoob Karim is not comfortable using the word prayer because paganism is attributed. Hey.
Antibrofo.
Now, look.
Most people say that Salah is prayer. I believe Salah is not prayer. In fact, I do not like to use the word prayer because there is a lot of paganism attached to this word prayer. I believe that paganism is what gave birth to the concept of prayer. So Salah, based on my understanding, is not prayer. Neither it is an act of worship.
Guys, look at the foolishness again. Based on my understanding, he said. So he's telling you his opinion. It's not a fact. He says salat, based on my understanding, is not prayer. And again, it is not an act of worship. Ladies and gentlemen, let's school this guy what worship means. He doesn't even know the meaning of worship. I'm serious. Ayoob Karim doesn't even know the meaning of worship. He said it is not an act of worship. Oh my God. Whose father is this, please? Whose father is this? Let's let the co-pilot help you. Let me go here. Please, co-pilot, I want you to help my uncle here, Ayoob Karim. Help him out, please. He's struggling with English. I don't know what English he's using, but let's help him out. So here, what is the definition of worship? Worship is the act of showing reverence, adoration, or devotion to a deity, divine being, or sacred entity. It can also extend to expressing deep respect or admiration for someone or something, such as an ideal concept or ideal or concept. Worship often involves rituals, prayers, or ceremonies in religious contexts, but it can also be personal and introspective. In a broader non-religious sense, worship can describe intense admiration or devotion to someone or something, like a worship of nature, art, or even a person. It's all about where your deepest respect and admiration are directed. So, Ayoob Karim, is your deepest respect targeted to God? Is your deepest admiration targeted to God? If yes, then that's your act of worship. Why do you do your salat? And I'm going to show the people how Ayoob Karim does his salat. Who does he do it for? And how does he do it? I'm going to show you. Just because of the word litany, this guy has beefs with me. Seriously. He doesn't even know the meaning of worship anyway. He says salat is not the act of prayer and it's not the act of worship. So what is it then? If salat is not the act of prayer, and it's not an act of worship, what is salat? Ayoob Karim is going to tell us what salat is. So we are going to go. But before I go, the word litany, if you trace in the classical Arabic roots, it's salat. But because this guy don't know the classical roots of the Arabic language, you don't even know you can find the word salat to mean litany in the classical Arabic. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let me do this here. I'm going to ask the AI something here concerning the classical Arabic website. Here, check the answer it is going to give me here. So I'm going to go to almani.com. Almani.com, I asked the AI a question. So I said, does Almani lexicon website consist of a classical Arabic and modern standard version? Now AI says yes. The Almani lexicon website includes resources for both classical Arabic and modern standard Arabic. It provides dictionaries and tools that cater to various Arabic dialects and linguistic needs. If you are exploring Arabic language nuances, it is a valuable resource. Are you diving into Arabic studies or just curious? So now let's go to Almani, right? We are going to Almani now. So here, this is Almani. Guys, do you see Almani? I'm going to put the word litany, and we are going to delve into the classical Arabic dictionary to see if litany can mean salat. So here, I'm put the word litany. So I'm going to scroll down to show you if it can mean salat or not. So this is it. In the classical Arabic language here, do you see the word litany? Do you see salat? Do you see salat? The word litany, salat. Let's go again. We go down, and I'm going to show you further. In the classical Arabic dictionary, it gives you salat litany here, and then you see the word salat. And then the word salat is synonymous with the word dua. Dua, because when you establish salat, you call on God. According to Quran chapter 17, verse 110, you call on God when you do salat. And we even see Zechariah in Quran chapter 3, verse 38 to 39, he did dua. He called on God during his salat. You understand? So it can synonymously be used together, dua, but it is not limited to dua. Get the point right. So you see, litany, it means in the classical Arabic dictionary, for those who have the classical book itself, go and search it, you see it. It means salat. Then I scroll down. Litany, in terms of religion, means salat. We go down. Litany, general, you see it is salat. Guys, are you seeing it for yourself? Baba Shuaib didn't just get up and translate the Quran anyhow I want. I did a thorough study. Yes, I studied it thoroughly before translating. My translation is out there because I know the likes of bozos like you, Ayoob Karim, and bozos like the mushriks who come after my neck. And I'm prepared. Come, let's sit down. And if you think I just did things out of ignorance, I can explain everything you see me write and everything I do. Seriously. Unless if I'm not aware of a certain mistake or something that I did on the side, that is normal because I'm a human being. But anything I am aware of, I can explain everything I did. Unless if you are a shallow-minded person coming at my neck without actually giving me a call. Because most of you are cowards anyway. Yeah. So let's go. We go down. You see, it gives you the concept of salat, litany. Salat. Do you see it yourself? The evidence is there. You go to Almani, and it will show you the evidence. Baba Shuaib is not here to play with your conscience or to joke with your conscience. I do everything with a proof. Apart from that, liturgy. Can it mean salat in the classical Arabic language? This is liturgy. Can it mean salat? Can it mean salat? Let's go to the classical Arabic. So here, liturgy. Do you see the word here? Salat. Or it can be translated as ibadah. It's a worship. It's an act of worship, but it's a public worship. Liturgy is a public worship. You do it with a group. Salat can be done with a group and can be done alone. Are you getting my point? So when you are doing it alone, you do it in the form of a prayer. When you are doing it with a group, you do it in the form of a litany or a liturgy. You understand? It can be done in different forms. You can do it in the form of zikr only. You are doing a zikr, salat with zikr by calling on God. No need to even say, God, give me money. You can do zikr only in your salat, and it's still salat because it's a broader concept. It is not only limited to standing, prostrating, and you can do even salat at a point of time. You can do salat by even not prostrating or standing. That is, if you are riding or walking outside, you don't need to actually prostrate. Are you getting my point? Anyways, so the word liturgy is also salat in the classical Arabic language. It is not only limited to the word prayer. It can mean liturgy, it can mean litany, and I didn't choose words which doesn't fit in the syllables. So don't think I'm just here to play with the people's conscience. Ayoob Karim, and I'm going to expose you to the people, the foolishness of you using communion and tabernacle and following closely and so on. I'm going to expose you. People will see your foolishness. Then again, if you put the word prayer here, then you go down. You see, when I put the word prayer and I go to the classical Arabic, here, you will see the word salat in prayer, salat, as salat, you see it. So all these three words you are seeing, I've used it in my translation because I'm not limiting salat to one thing. Because I just want you to get the concept of salat in a broader concept, not in a limited concept. I hope you are with me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So now, Ayoob Karim, with his shallow mind, got this wrong. But let's go forward. So again, these people translate salat as following closely. So let's go and check. In the classical Arabic language, does it mean following closely? Ladies and gentlemen, you go to Alamani, put following closely. I put following closely. Let's check. Following closely here. Following closely. Follow closely. I don't see it here. Where is salat? Hey, I don't see salat. Where did it go? Following closely. I don't see in the meaning on original classical language. I don't see it here. Anyways, following closely, not to be found. Let's go. Where's the next one? Connection. So they try to say connection. Connection in the classical language. Let's see. Do we see salat anywhere? Salat. I don't see salat. Where did the salat go? This word is silat. It's not salat. Silat. Silat is connection. Waslat. Wasla is also connection. It's not salat. So here, I don't see salat. I don't see salat here. I don't see salat. Okay, apart from that, those of the duty, those who say salat means duty, where are they? Let me put duty also. So duty. So duty here. Oh, sorry. Yes. Duty, I don't see salat in duty. I don't see salat. Where did salat go? I don't see salat. Duty. In the classical Arabic language, I don't see where salat means duty. It doesn't exist anywhere. It doesn't exist anywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, you see for yourself, those people like the Hamza Maliks, Ayoob Karims keeps fooling you with their opinions. They don't have their own translations. They don't know where they are talking from. Today they open Sahih International. Oh my God. They just fool you. That is why they are scared to face Baba Shuaib in a live dialogue. Wallahi, wallahi. They are scared to face Baba Shuaib in a live dialogue. And it has to be a video dialogue. Wallahi lazim. Since they are coming out hypocritically against me, I'm going to expose them to the world. You mark it on the wall. So let's go forward. So Ayoob Karim's video, the next video from this Ayoob Bozo, this is what he was saying. He is going to tell you what salat means according to him. Listen to Ayoob, what salat means.
people till today do not have an image of God. They know and understand.
Oh, no, not this video. Not this yet. Not yet. Let's go to the other video. Not this one. Listen carefully. He is going to tell you salat, what salat means, and then the concept of salat. He says there are two types of salat. He's going to show you the salat.
To the triliteral root letters of salah, Sad, Lam, Waw. According to the root list, Sad, Lam, Waw means to follow closely. According to the root list, this is defined for the proper understanding with the example of horses in a horse race. The second horse that is following the first horse is called a musalli. But for the second horse to attain the title of a musalli, it has to be close to the first horse. So close to the first horse that at least the head of the second horse must overlap the body of the first horse. If the second horse does not overlap the body of the first horse, it does not qualify as a musalli. So, if the second horse is about 2 meters behind the first horse, it is not a musalli, simply because the second horse does not overlap the body of the first horse. This is how close the second horse has to follow the sabiq, which is the first horse. So, when we look at the definition of salah, it means to follow closely, very, very closely. So what do we have to follow closely? The word salah or communion is divided into two parts. That is, to follow closely, and the other is that of communication, both of which are of parallel importance.
Ladies and gentlemen, to follow closely, and he's explaining to you what following closely means by saying the horse. The people following the horse have to be, so according to him, who is the horse? He says God is the first horse. Wallah, I'll play the video, you see. This guy says God is the first horse, so we are the second horses. So that is what salat means, following closely. He's going to show us how he does the following closely. So he says the second part is communication. So according to him, salat has two parts. Listen carefully. He says following closely and then communication. So let's ask Ayoob, Karim again. Salat has how many parts and what does it mean? He's going to say something different from this. Pay attention. He said salat is following closely and communication. Two things together, right? Okay. Ayoob Karim is going to answer again. Again, what the salat is. Listen what he said here. He's going to talk about two things. Salat means what? Ayoob Karim.
Salah, which is communication. Remember that salah is not a ritual. Allah commands the Prophet to establish salah, the first part of which is communication. So this is what I do. When I get up in the morning, preferably just before sunrise, my family, which is my wife and my two daughters, join me in salah, in communication in the morning. So I read a section or two from the Quran, and then I would explain it to them. They would ask questions, and that is how I establish my salah, because I am communicating the Quran to my wife and children. During the day, I repeat the same procedure. So once again, I read a section or two of the Quran just before lunch, and together with my wife and daughters, depending on who is at home, we have a short discussion on that for about 20 to 30 minutes. Then at night, just before supper, I read a section or two and explain it and have a short discussion for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we have our supper. That is how we establish salah. And that is how I establish salah in reference to the communication mentioned in the Quran. There are certain times when we get together late at night, that is well after 9 p.m., that we get together and have additional recitation of the Quran and more discussions. And now comes the other aspect of salah, which is sunnatullah, the sunnah of Allah. So,
hey, wait. This guy said following closely and communication in the previous video. Now he's saying communication and sunnatullah. Which is which? And he's just defining a ritual because he does this with his family in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. He has a cycle of his salat that he does with his family. So what if there is no family at home? He's alone. Who is he going to communicate with? He's going to do... Okay, anyways, Ayoob Karim is explaining. Let's listen to him.
So I look at the attributes of Allah and I choose a few attributes of Allah that I can put into practice, whether it is the merciful, the kind, the generous, the truthful, etc., etc. I believe you know the attributes of Allah. Then the next day or the next week, I look at other attributes of Allah and I try to put those attributes into practice. So the more of the attributes of Allah that I try to put into practice, the more sunnatullah I am establishing. And when I practice sunnatullah...
Ladies and gentlemen, where did God ask us to establish sunnatullah? Is there any verse where it says establish sunnatullah? Hey, Ayoob Karim, Ayoob, Ayoobozo. Hey, where does it say establish sunnatullah? Hey, Ayoob. Let's go.
I am practicing the attributes of Allah, which keeps me away from transgression. Allah talks about Fasha'i wal Munkar in Surah 29 verse 45 and establish Salah. For most definitely, the establishment of Salah will shut off lewdness, stinginess and bad conduct. Fasha includes miserliness and Munkar is all behavior that goes against the permanent values given in the Quran. So when I establish Salah in reference to Sunnatullah daily, it helps me to keep me away from wrongdoing. The state of Salah that I am in continues throughout the day. So establishing Salah is a continuous process for as long as I am awake, except for the communication part where you break it into 2 or 3 times a day, depending on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, is it not a ritual he just described? It's a ritual, right? Because Ayoob Karim doesn't understand the meaning of a ritual. He said Salat is not a ritual. Listen.
Most people say that Salah is prayer. I believe Salah is not prayer. In fact, I do not like to use the word prayer.
Okay, no problem. Then he said what?
Salah, which is communication. Remember that Salah is not a ritual.
The communication you are doing, who are you doing it with? The communication, you do it only with your family, Ayoob Karim. So what if your family is not at home? Ayoob Karim, Ayoobu. If your family is not at home, who are you doing the communication with? Ayoob, are you going to watch me or not? Ayoob, when your family, your wife and kids, when they are not at home, are you going to do the communication with who? The who? Ayoob. But what you just defined is a ritual. Okay, let's go to the AI. Let's do the co-pilot. Let's help you out. Ayoob, it seems the old, I don't know, for you the old age is touching something. So let's try to remove the something from your head. Ayoobu Karimu. Let's put this here. So now, the word ritual. Ayoob Karim doesn't like the word ritual, but he doesn't understand the meaning of ritual. Foolish people like this man, they think ritual is only attributed to religion. Okay, that's no problem. Is the word ritual only attributed to religion? No. The word ritual, listen carefully. The word ritual is not limited to religion. Whether you say you are not religious, you and Hamza Bozo, you said you are not religious. You say Islam is not a religion, no problem. But you don't understand what ritual is about. You guys are bozos, I keep telling you. Wallahi, I will embarrass you in a live dialogue. Mark it on the wall. The word ritual is not limited to religion. While it is often associated with religious ceremonies or acts of worship, ritual can broadly refer to any set of actions or behaviors performed regularly. Ayoob Karim, do you perform your salat, your so-called salat? Do you do it regularly? The answer is yes. Do you do it daily? The answer is yes. Okay, no problem. Let's continue. Then it says, often in a formal or structured way. Ayoob Karim, your structure of communicating with your wife and kids, is it structured or not? Yes, it is. You just define a structure of what you do with your family, because God says establish salat, right? So you are establishing a communication, and even sunnatullah, and then they following closely. Yours is even worse. Let's go. So now, the breakdown of what ritual is about. We have cultural rituals, which is traditions or practices tied to a specific community or culture, like weddings or seasonal celebrations. Number 2, personal rituals, like the Ayoob Karim's, habits or routines someone follows, like a morning ritual involving coffee and meditation. 3rd, social rituals, shared behaviors in social settings, such as what? Such as greetings or dining etiquette. Then 4th, professional rituals, repeated practices in work or professional environments, like preparation before a big meeting, is a ritual. You have bozos like these old people saying they are Quran alone followers, and they tell you there is no ritual in Islam. How can you be working with these mindless people you call? Anyways, he said there's no ritual in Islam. No problem. Ayoob Karim, maybe you are right. There's no ritual, but you are doing ritual with your family. Anyways, Ayoob Karim just told us previously, he said, listen carefully. He said salat is 2 parts, following closely and what? Following closely and communication. Ayoob Karim again told us salat means communication and sunnatullah. So which is which, Ayoob Karim? Okay, any problem? No problem. Let's go to listen to what you said here. Let's listen to Ayoob Karim, what he said here. I'm going to play the video, what he was saying here. Listen to what Ayoob Karim said. He said, this one.
Salah is not a prayer and has got nothing to do with prayer or rituals.
He says salat has nothing to do with prayer or ritual. So according to Ayoob Karim, which means he doesn't pray to God. He doesn't pray to God and he doesn't do rituals, but he just defined rituals to us. What he does with his family is a ritual. What you did, even if you don't stand and bow and prostrate, Ayoob Karim, what you just defined that you did with your family is a ritual, unless you are a fool to say no, it's not a ritual, because you hate the concept of rituals. Academically, it means you don't understand what a ritual means. So when we say ritual salat, these foolish bozos you have in the Quran alone group telling you salat is not a ritual. Salat, are you a fool? Or is just academically you are kaput? You don't understand the meaning of ritual. Any cycle you are doing, whether daily, whether you do it repeatedly in the same day, so far as you are doing the same cycle, that becomes a ritual. Oh my God.
Salah, according to my understanding of the Quran, is not something that has to be prayed, but something that has to be established.
Oh my God. If I'm praying, I'm establishing the prayer also. When I stand to pray, I'm establishing a prayer. Does he understand the meaning of establish? So you think establishment is only building a house? When you sit down to communicate with your family, you have just established salat, as you said. Let's listen to him.
I suggest that you look at my videos mentioned earlier and get guidelines from that and put that into your understanding, and then start practicing the deen that Allah prescribed and not what human beings like Imam Bukhari and gang prescribed.
But Ayoob Karim, you are just prescribing something. You are a human being. You are telling people to start practicing the deen as God prescribed, not as human beings prescribe. You are prescribing something. You even say salat has sunnatullah aspect. I don't see where God says establish sunnatullah. You said communication. Okay, no problem. Salat can be a divine way of communicating with God also and the congregation. But if you are alone and you want to establish salat, who are you going to have the communication with? With yourself only? So you leave God out of the equation?
You got to understand the concept which I am practicing. It may be difficult That is why you have to understand the Quran so you can practice those concepts. Don't practice those concepts which I understand. You need to understand it for yourself. So in other words, our salah is not a mindless ritual where we can copy the next person's action without using our own intellect.
That you are right. It doesn't have to be mindless. There's nothing we, the Quran alone followers, we do that is mindless. We do it for a purpose. We do it for a cause. We do it for a reason. Because God says, I should not pursue that of which I have no knowledge. So we do things based on knowledge. Because you are kaput in the head. You want to keep following your opinions. You reject the word prayer and you reject the aspect of ritual, even though you are doing rituals. What is wrong with your logic, Ayoob Karim? If I catch you people like you in a live dialogue, I'm not going to have mercy for you that you are a Quran alone follower. So you said you are not religious. You said Islam is not a religion. This guy doesn't even know the definition of a religion. AI, where are you? Co-pilots, let's help this guy. He doesn't know religion also. So let's define religion for him. Ayoob Karim, you don't know what religion means. You thought we are talking about man-made religion. So he doesn't know religion. So let's help him out on what religion is. Ayoob Karim, this is religion. If you don't know religion, define religion. Religion is a system of beliefs, practices, and values often centered around questions of existence, purpose, and the divine or sacred. Ayoob Karim believes in God. That is number one, beliefs. He does a practice. He established ritual. He just told you he established salat with his family. And he sit down to recite the Quranic verses. And they ask each other questions. And they repeat it again. And then he has the attributes of God that he mentions. And values often centered around questions of existence. Ayoob Karim, God talks about your existence on earth. He told you you will die also. Purpose. You have a purpose. You are here to serve God. There's a purpose. And the divine, you know God is divine. You know he has angels. They are divine also. You know a lot of divine aspect of Islam. It's a religion. Now, we are talking about sacred. We have sacred months. Ashurul Hurum. They are sacred months dedicated to God. Ayoob Karim, you believe in all this. It typically involves your faith or spiritual beliefs. Rituals and practices. You have rituals also. You do practices. You have the moral conduct, your codes. You have a community you are building. You have your family. You are even talking to people by making videos. How can you say Islam is not a religion? Are you a bozo? You and Hamza Malik, I just don't understand how shallow. You are old enough, but your brain is low. Seriously. Religion can serve as a source of identity, comfort, or guidance for individuals and communities, shaping cultural, historical, and philosophical landscape. It is fascinating and multifaceted aspect of human life. And then you have bozos like Ayoob Karim telling you Islam is not a religion. What is it? Here is here is saying. By the way, before I go to that video, he's saying Salah means Salah. This is what Ayoob Karim says. He says Salah means Salah. Look. Where is it? This is what Ayoob Karim says Salat means. Salah means what?
It's not a mindless practice. Salah is not a ritual. Salah is not a procession. And I know most definitely that Salah does not constitute the many and various litanies like the litany of the Virgin Mary. Salah is Salah.
Hey! Ayoob Karim says Salah is Salah. Salah is Salah. Salah is Salah.
And people cannot use litany to describe Salah.
Hey, are you sure?
Salah is by far superior and supersedes the word litany. Please do not insult Salah by using the word litany.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I showed you the evidence from the classical Arabic, right? So this guy is saying Salat cannot mean litany. I prove him wrong on that, but I'm going to show you what this guy again says Salat means. Remember, he said Salat means following closely and then communication. He says Salat means communication and then Sunnatullah. Now again, he's going to tell us what Salat means again. Listen to this guy.
And when he said, in our image, after our likeness. So they had the tabernacle, the salah which Prophet Moses and his followers practiced and established. This tabernacle, which was their salah, was gradually changed over many years to what they have today. And so they lost the salah, their tabernacle. During the era of Prophet Jesus, Nabi Isa also practiced in our image, after our likeness. He understood what it meant. Then came Christianity and the changes began to take place. They changed the concept of in our image, after our likeness, to what they now refer to as the Holy Communion, because they believe that Jesus is God. So instead of practicing what Jesus practiced, that is, in our image, after our likeness, they eat a piece of bread and drink some wine, which they say that it signifies the body and blood of Jesus Christ. So this practice has led them to believe that they have God in them and that they will go to heaven. Then came the era of Prophet Muhammad, and he was also given salah, which unfortunately has been changed to namaz, a mindless ritual practice of physical movements. So what is salah? A one-word definition of salah is communion.
What? What? Ayoob, Karim, what are you doing? MFG. I don't understand this man. He has too much heebie-jeebies. Ayoob, Karim, you define salat. You say salat means following closely. So from following closely, you say salat means communication. You say two parts. Then you jump to another video. You say salat is communication. And then you say it means sunnatullah. And now you are saying salat in one word, it means communion again. Hey, I thought Christians are the one using communion. Communion. Isn't not Christianity using communion? Communion, Holy Communion. Isn't not Christianity? So now let's check what he has to say.
Communion was given to Prophet Moses and Prophet Jesus and to all the prophets and to Prophet Muhammad. Now the question is, what is the definition of communion? Communion is a close relationship with someone or entity in which thoughts, ideas, concepts, feelings, emotions are communicated, exchanged, and or practiced.
So what if you are alone, establishing your communion? Ayoob, Karim, what if you are alone? Your family, your wife is not there, your daughter is not there, but you are alone. You have to establish this communion. You say it has to be shared with thoughts and feelings and whatever has to be shared, right? And it has to be exchanged. Hey, Ayoob, Karim. So it means when you are alone, no communion. Hey, Ayoob, Ayoob. So when you are alone, no communion again. Because who are you going to share your feelings and your thoughts? Hey, Ayoob, Karim. Akrobetu, where are you? Come. It's time for you. Come, please. Akrobetu, oh, I don't see you. Where are you? Come and help me out. Come.
God have mercy upon us.
So now salat means communion. And this communion, we know it as Christians using it. You are accusing Baba Shuaib of using litany. And you said litany is attributed to Christians. Out of your foolishness, you fail to realize that litany has been there even before Christianity came. So you said Baba Shuaib. So now you said salat means communion. After saying salat means following closely. After saying communication. After saying sunnatullah. So now it means communion. Hey, communion, if we have to look at it in the concept of Christianity, you are in trouble, Ayoob, Karim. Hey, communion? Okay, but let me help you out. Since you were trying to put an allegation on me that the word litany is attributed to Christians. I know the word communion is not limited to Christians, but let me help you out. Because You were supposed to do the same for Baba Shuaib. But because you hated me so much, you didn't do the same for me. Huh? Ayoob, Karim, you say communion. No problem. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let me put this. Just a second. Yes, here. The word communion. I put this video down. This is the word communion. The word communion is popularly used by who? The word communion is popularly used in both religious and secular contexts. Then it says, in religious context, it is most commonly associated with Christianity, where it refers to Eucharist or Holy Communion, participation in the sacred sharing of bread and wine to symbolize the body and blood of Christ. It signifies unity with God and the community of believers. So, Ayoob, Karim, you see, in your own issue, you fail to realize that a word can be chosen by any denomination, but it just depends on the context in which you are using the word. The word communion, you just say Salat means communion. Christians are the number one who use it the most in the whole world. So are we going to say you are committing shirk, Ayoob Karim? Ayoob Karim, are you also committing shirk by using communion? So that means when a Christian takes your translation and they see communion, they will say, oh, that means I have to eat bread and drink wine because that is the body of Christ. And are you bozo? Are you bozo? No wonder you couldn't give me a call with this foolishness. Are you bozo? Hey. Ajay. Imagine when somebody pointing fingers at you, but they refuse to watch the mirror, to look at the mirror before coming to talk about you with this foolishness of yours. Don't come to me unprepared. I say I double check you twice more than you double check me. All of you, the hypocrites, the mega hypocrites, the no ritual group. It is foolishness you have in your head, nothing, and hatred against Baba Shuaib. You are using the word communion. Hey, Ayoob Karim. Hey, Akrobe, to give me one more. Let's go. One more.
God have mercy upon us.
Okay, so now here's another video. Let me play the other video. You see the heebie-jeebies Ayoob Karim was displaying in this other video. Now check here. In this video, when I watched the video, I was actually laughing. I said, what is wrong with this man? I said, is it the old age disturbing him, or what was he actually trying to say? This is what he said.
Let me make this very, very clear. I do not practice Islam as a religion.
This guy is telling you the level of stupidity in an advanced level that he belongs to now. He does not practice Islam as a religion, while Islam is a religion. The word deen is a religion. I know some people don't want to agree, oh, deen, because they don't want to practice Islam as a religion. They hate the concept of religion. I just gave the AI the chance to define religion to you. Yes. Because if Baba Shuaib to sit here and just be telling you what something means, you will say, oh, Baba Shuaib is speaking from his opinion. So I use the advanced level of AI to give you your answers, to show you how stupid you are. Are you bozo? I'm serious. You said you didn't come to cross swords with me. You already did. You fell into the wrong trap. When Baba Shuaib is seriously after these bozos like Ali Dawa, Muhammad Hijab, Mufti Mengs, and so on, you with a shallow brain like this, you are lucky I have respected people from South Africa who appreciate my work. You are lucky. Seriously.
Islam to me is not a religion.
So he's just sitting there telling you his opinions. Just his opinions. Islam to me is not a religion. Islam to me is not. Who are you? Who even cares who you are? Who are you?
But a deen.
Look at the foolishness again. Islam to me is not a religion, but a deen. Deen is an Arabic word. It's not an English word. It says Islam is not a religion, but a deen. Whose father is this?
A way of life prescribed by God Almighty.
God is a divine entity you don't see. So when you are dealing with God, the moment you believe in God, you are dealing with God, you have faith in God, is defined as a religion. Unless if you are a fool who doesn't understand the meaning of religion. The moment you believe in God, you have faith in God, you are doing the commands of God, you don't see God, you have put your faith in God, that makes it a religion. Because he's giving you the code of conduct on how to live your lives. That is a religion. Then we have man-made religion. Just say Islam is not a man-made religion because Islam comes from God. Quran chapter 3 verse 19. Inna dina indallahi al-Islam. So Islam is with God. That is why it's the deen Allah. It's not the deen of human beings that formed it. Are you getting the point? So Islam is a religion from God, not from human beings. This guy doesn't understand.
Firstly, let me make this very, very clear. I do not practice Islam as a religion. Islam to me is not a religion, but a deen, a way of life prescribed by God Almighty.
Waste of time. Serious, this guy is a waste of time. Seriously. Total waste of time. Let's go to his next video. His next video, this is where the confusion comes in. This is where the confusion comes in. First of all, this is what he says. And I'm going to show you what he says concerning his understanding first. Now check this video.
All about helping others and not about mantras and incantations.
He said Islam is all about helping others. Is that what Islam is about? Islam is limited to all about helping others? Yes, there's an aspect of helping others. There's an aspect of charity where you have to help others. But Islam is not all about helping others. We have invocations where you have to invoke God. For instance, Quran chapter 23 verse 97 to 98, God is telling you to make a dua. Rabbi a'udhu bika min hamazati shayatin wa a'udhu bika rabbi an yadurun. This is incantation that you have to do for God to listen to your dua and come to your aid. You have these foolish bozos like this. They will take the Quran and you think they're giving you guidance. It's pure foolishness they are preaching out there. When people like Ayoob, Karim are doing videos, Baba Shuaib never mentions them. It doesn't mean I don't see their loopholes. I see it too. But if you don't step on my foot, I don't step on yours. Be in your lane, I be in my lane. When you come with your foolishness and shallow mind like this against me, I will set you up for the world to laugh at you, to be honest.
The other very important point that I want to mention and impress to my viewers is that whatever are on my videos are my beliefs.
Listen carefully. Are you listening to what he said?
And my understanding of the Quran. My videos are uploaded to share what I see in the Quran. It does not mean that you are now compelled to believe and do as I believe and do.
Did you hear what he said? So at the end of the day, he's just putting the content out. Why are you putting the content? If you don't want people to believe what you are doing, you don't want people to do what you are doing, please tell this old man, why are you putting the content out there? If I'm selling a product If I'm selling this bottle here, if I'm selling it, and I make a video advertising it, please, ladies and gentlemen, why am I advertising the bottle? If I don't want anybody to buy, if I don't want anybody to make use of it, why am I putting it out there? So if you foolishly said, my videos are just my opinion, I don't want anybody to do as I'm doing, why the hell are you putting the video out there? That is what a hypocrite does. This is what a hypocrite does. His next video sharing about his understanding. Oh, this other video is not playing. Why? Okay, I need to remove a video out. Wait. I need to remove that one video before I can put this video. Now his understanding.
And that no two people's salah will be the same. Why? Because each one will be reading different parts of the Quran, but all will be communicating. Furthermore, we will be practicing Sunnatullah.
What? What? Where is this example come? Where can this kind of example be found in the Quran? Where it says practicing Sunnatullah like this?
In other words, we will be practicing, for example, the act of mercy in a certain way, and another brother or sister will be practicing the same attribute of mercy, but in a different way. So, the levels of understanding of practicing the deen will be different from person A to person B. The bottom line is that we need to understand what we are practicing and should not be based on another person's understanding, but rather on your own understanding. Don't base your practice of the deen on my understanding. Base your practice on what you understand.
Ayoob, Karim, why are you trying to confuse the people? What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to confuse the people? It's not about understanding, it's about the truth. It should be based on the truth, not about understanding. Something can be factual, but you don't understand. So if you are telling people should always base the things on what they are understanding, you are causing division. Just tell the people to base it on the truth. If it aligns with the truth, you have to agree with it. That's how it works. Stop saying it's about my understanding. Imagine when the prophet came and he's telling the people, from my understanding, you do what you understand. What? Just imagine the division. What kind of foolishness are you out there teaching the people? If your understanding you think is not important, why make videos? What kind of foolishness is this? Why make videos and put it out there to mislead people? Seriously. Okay. So now you saw, ladies and gentlemen, you saw this man, Ayoob Karim, and you saw his EBGBs that he has to provide for us. He just told you what Salat is, what Salat is about. With all his EBGBs, he attacked Baba Shuaib with this foolishness. Seriously. He attacked Baba Shuaib with this foolishness. I don't know what warrants that foolishness. Why come at me with this foolishness? Anyways, he doesn't even understand himself. Yes, that's the point. Some people are asking questions. I didn't pay attention much to the question part because I was dealing with the video. Milo was asking a question. He says, but Salat isn't limited to litany only, right? Yes, it's not limited. No, it's not limited. Also, certain laws and rules you have to follow, right? Of course, when you read the verses of God during the Salat, the book is meant to be followed. The book of God, you have to follow it, but you don't just follow it in the night. You are in the night and you are following the verses. No. Salat is established so that you know, you come to closer to God, you talk to God, you communicate with God. At the same time, if it is in a group, then it can be done in a way that you are communicating with the people. At the same time, you make obeisance to God. But if you are alone, you do it in a different aspect whereby you are communicating with God. At the same time, you can recite the verses of God, but it is for you. to understand the message you are reading so that you implement it in your life. So when people say also salat means laws and rules, it's it's kind of confusion here. The word for laws is sharia. You understand? The word for rules can be hukum. We can say hukma or hukum. It's in the Quran. So God knows the choice of words he can use to actually make us understand a concept. Right? So then the person is asking that when the people of Shuaib ask him if his salat commanded them to change their ways, what do you think? In that instance, you translate it as communication. Does your communication command us? Because the act of communicating, he has to give them a message. So the act of communication that he's doing with them, does it instruct him to command them to do what they are doing? That is the question they are asking him. When we say salat is not limited to a particular word, you have to look at the context in which a word appears. I once had a video. I was talking about the word shit. I don't know if I have the video still somewhere. I spoke about the word shit, right? Let me see. Can I find? Maybe I can find it somewhere here. Let me see. Has anybody seen my video on the word shit? When I did the video on the word shit, I was explaining the shit. I was explaining the word shit. I did a video on it. I forgot. Where did I save it? I have it somewhere. If anybody has seen that video before, I did it about 4 or 5 years ago. The word shit, S-H-I-T, an American informal word. It's used by Americans, Black Americans precisely, or maybe all of Americans. They use it as in a spoken language. The word shit can be used for good and bad. I can say, I like this shit. This one, I can say, I like this shit. I like this shit. But then, if I don't like it, I can say, this is a piece of shit. But you see the same word shit. And I can say, hey, you know what? Baba Shuaib is the shit. When I say Baba Shuaib is the shit, it means he is the great guy. He's the deal. And I can say Baba Shuaib is a piece of shit, meaning he's nobody. He's just worse. And I can say I'm going to take a shit. That means I'm going to the toilet. And I can say this shit is disturbing me. It means this thing is disturbing me. So the subject is shit. But you see the word shit, if put in different context, it means different things altogether. So when we say salat, salat can fit in different contexts. But then we have the salat. That the salat, which God commanded us, needs to be established. I don't care how you want to establish it. If you want to sit down and do your salat, that's up to you. Baba Shuaib, I will stand, I will bow down, I will prostrate to show my obeisance to God. If you hate it, go and bend the sea. This is my salat, and I got it from the Quran. If you say I'm not doing it right, come for a live dialogue. Let me set your ass on fire. Come and prove me wrong. Are you getting my point? Okay. So now, the next question we have, Umar Satauru says, Brother Baba Shuaib, can you please one day do a tutorial on using the Almani website? I tried hard to use Almani and Reverso, but I find it hard to use. I can show people how to use that, yes. It's not that complicated though. I can help. Tourist places in Kashmir says, please answer my question, Baba Shuaib. I didn't see your, okay, it's here. If salat includes zikr also, why God says that if you are traveling or in danger, do zikrullah on foot? Yes, because when you are walking, you can do zikrullah. You don't actually need to stand to do it. You can be walking after doing the ablution. You can be walking and doing the zikrullah in your head. When you are safe, then you stand for the salat itself. You understand? That is the way you are taught. We learn from the prophets, the examples of the prophets and the messengers in the Quran. That is the salat itself. Then we have somebody say what? Yes, he made a video about me. Koran inspires me, made a video about me. Against me, not about me, actually. It's against me. Anyways, what am I missing? Am I missing something? Well, if you want to look at it like that, because the book of God talks about instructions. Yes. So if it's coming from the book, because you have to use the book of God to establish the salat, the act of communication. The communication is a two-way street. You are talking to God and you are talking to the people. If you are alone, you can be talking to God, invoking God, because salat on its own, it couples with what? Invocation. So when you are communicating with God, yes, it is salat. At the same time, it's a two-way thing. You can be communicating with the people, but in that same channel, you communicate with God. That is salat. You understand? So communication, yes. Thank you very much, Bilal Jibril. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm done with Ayoob Bozu. He doesn't have an argument. At the end of the day, he told you translate salat as communion. So that is a shit argument. That is a piece of shit argument. Brother West says communion. So communion, Mr. Communion. From today, Ayoob Karim's name is Mr. Communion. His argument is a piece of shit argument. When he did the video, people were giving him thumbs up. When I saw this guy, this old bozo, Hamza Malik, making a video, I was laughing so hard when he shared the video. I'm like, oh my God, these bozos will never call Baba Shuaib for a dialogue or debate. What are you scared of? Bozos. Why are you scared of me? I'm just below my 40 years. I'm below 40. You old enough to be my pops and you are scared of me? Come and manhandle me and give me some lashes in publicly. I would love that. Come, give me a call. Let's go for a dialogue publicly so that I can set you up as fools for the people to see your foolishness. You say there is no ritual in Islam. I'll prove it to you. You say Islam is not a religion. I'll prove it to you. You say Salat is not a ritual. I'll prove it to you. You say Salat is not an act of what? Prayer. I'll prove it to you. Come. You come. I'm waiting for you, the hypocrite among the no ritual group. You are doing rituals out of your foolishness. You say there's no ritual in Islam. But that is a ritual you are doing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me open the till we meet again next week. If you're coming to TikTok, you are welcome. But I'll be doing a question and answer segment next week. I'll be talking about Sneako and doing a question and answer segment next week, God willing. So if you didn't get to watch from the beginning, please take your time and watch. I spoke about Assim Al-Hakeem before I spoke about Ayoob Bozu. So Ayoob Bozu gave us some interesting comedy to laugh about. His latest Mr. Communion, right? The Holy Communion. I don't know if it's Jesus, the bread and wine, but communion. So you can have your communion with your family according to Ayoob Karim, right? You have your communion, you have your following closely, you establish your sunnatullah, and then you establish your communication. I don't know, but that's what we have. So ladies and gentlemen, let me give some shout outs to all those who are here. Abu Thomas, Baba Sedu, Quran Alone is Truth, Maru, Rami, that is Romeo's, Abdul Malindra, Umar Sataur, S. Faraj, you can do this, Wuntia Atia, yeah, Wuntia, I see you, yes, Nuruddin, Ismail Ali, Fatima, all of you, ladies and gentlemen, Bilal Jibril, Salih Jimmy, Rachel Green, you are on TikTok today. I didn't see you here. I have Halal Ahmed. I have a lot of names, brothers. Shaheen Samhin. Yes, and also I was thinking about this brother. He gave me a link. I forgot where I kept the link. Is brother Isa Watson. We need to, yeah, brother Isa Watson. I might have to do that. I'll put up the link for that. I'll post it, inshallah. For all of you who are here, I was expecting some people from the comment section to call, but unfortunately they couldn't call. I don't know what. Don't be scared of Baba Shuaib. I don't bite. I'm just a human being who happens to have been given knowledge and wisdom. That's all. So come, let's have interaction. My mom, online mom, Sister Khadija, I see you. Thank you for the support. Let me see. the sister who called, Dr. Orange, all the callers, Ed Suleiman, Brother Rahim, Brother Zakaria, Brother Omar Sataur, all those who call, I appreciate your support. Also, God bless you. All those who were watching before, Brother Balogun, you name it, Abdul Samad, Adam, all of you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your support. Till we meet again, hopefully next week, and you hear this guy again before you go, right?
Litany means prayer and or supplication. Yes, that is true.
Always give them a reason to remember your name. The correctional officer.